Today we're coming to you from the Lowe Farm Co-op in Lowe Farm, Manitoba. I drive through this little place so many times and I've stopped so many times, and today we're just going to explore a little bit about what makes the Lowe Farm Co-op tick. With me is the General Manager, Matthew Elmy. And Matthew, welcome to the show. It's just a great thing. As we were talking a little bit before, I remembered a few of the general managers that have been before you, and now of course here's a young fella like yourself stepping in to a community that at one time was a Mennonite community and to some extent still is, and in fact I see people moving into it. It's a place where people come to retire. So what makes a co-op like this still relevant today?
It's definitely challenging in small rural town Manitoba. I believe it's really our people, our community, and our values that really keeps us relevant to the industry around us. We try our very best to service everybody. The culture, the employee culture, I believe, not just in Lowe Farm Co-op, but in the whole co-op retail system. It's something unique. We really do believe in that you're at home atmosphere, and we want to try to welcome everybody just like that. Remaining relevant in the commercial side of things, it's definitely challenging. Competitors are getting bigger and evolving, and so must we, and we continue to reinvest into our community. Especially we built a brand new fertilizer facility 2 years back, and continuing to see growth.
You know, I talked to one of your customers here today, Rolf Kenner, your employees, and at the time what struck me was got what, but not everything right in this store. He had to go to another store in order to find that other thing. And then the question he asked, do you want us to do to us, or do you want to go bill it direct? So it indicates that you're really trying to make sure you do everything for that customer that you can.
We need to adapt to the markets, and if we can adjust to what the customer needs are, that's the main thing.
So if you look at Lowe Farm Co-op and the surrounding area, how far?
A lot of the Red River Valley. We go north towards Brunkill, to Albany. We have part of our petroleum business is we also service part of Rosenor Co-op and St. Joseph Co-op members as well, so that those co-ops can meet their member needs. So we're well past the east side of the river. We go as far reaching as Roland, and it's quite a vast territory that we cover.
That's where I just came from. And so how do you split things up? Like, is it mainly agriculture, or do you have other parts of it?
Our majority is our agriculture. Producers are a big part of our business, but we do have a lot of commercial as well. We do service a lot of industry in the surrounding community, but producers immediately to Lowe Farm are a big part of our business.
If you were to break it down, services, do that for me.
Well, we do bulk petroleum is the biggest portion of our business. We service a lot of far and wide with clear and dyed products. We also have a card lock facility here as well. Agro side of thing is our next biggest portion of our business, and with the dry fertilizer now coming in to complement what we had before, the seed and chemical products, we can now offer that full variety of commodities. We do have a farm hardware to service all the essentials for the farmers in the area. And we do still have one of the few left service garages in the co-op system.
That's what I've seen so many times. You sell gas, you service vehicles. Do you sell any vehicles? You ever get into that kind of thing?
No, never into that. No, not yet, at least.
Who knows, right? I mean, a fella like yourself, where did you come from, and what brought you to Lowe Farm besides the job?
Well, you know what? I actually didn't leave the 23 highway too far. I grew up by Mariapolis, Manitoba. My parents were co-op employees, and one still is actually to this day. So I grew up through the system, and I found a real taking to the co-op model. And from there, 11 years back, I started my career in a co-op, and it's taken me here to the beautiful Lowe Farm Co-op.
Then, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll explore some other things and as to what size and how Lowe Farm Co-op fits into the whole co-op movement.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.
Back to this special farm show with the Lowe Farm Co-op, and it always gives me an opportunity, having been involved in the business of agriculture for 47 years, to talk about agriculture not only to the people that work here, but to all those people that the farmers continue to feed around the world. We're about 1.5% as far as the population in Canada that are farmers today, and people sometimes forget that that's a big, big job. And so here we have Matthew with the Lowe Farm Co-op, serving a good chunk of the farming community and commercial community. But at the same time, Matthew, how do you fit in as far as size is concerned into the co-op movement?
You see, agriculture in the agro departments in the co-op system is a growing industry. We fit right in there when we're talking about the mix. We offer everything that most others do. The service produced in our area, I think we far exceed what they're looking for, and we hope to continue to grow that industry.
So, working, and I remember George Clausen. George was a general manager in Lowe Farm, but he was originally from Winkler, Manitoba, and he was invited to come to Winkler because the Winkler Co-op at that time, and I think it had a different name maybe, was in trouble. In fact, it was basically bankrupt. And I remember one thing that George told me in an interview. He says, you know what, we're a co-op, but we're going to run it like a business. So how does that fit into the co-op model from your perspective?
Well, definitely member profits, and yes, you want to run it like a business, but you want to be fair, and you want to make sure that whatever you do in business decisions that you make, you keep the core values at heart. With us, that's integrity, that's community, and that's teamwork. So when we're making business decisions for now and in the future, we definitely are looking at that and how does it benefit the members long term from now. To continue seeing growth is the main thing, but also at the end of the year, trying to remain profitable so that we can return back to the members.
I remember my father, who farmed only about 15 miles from here, and he was a big farmer in the 1960s. 1,000 acres was a huge farm. I sat on the tractor. I know how big that farm was. I had to drive it, right? But Dad was also not necessarily a co-op man. He would haul grain to the facility that where he liked the manager. Is the manager still such an important part to draw in clientele?
I think it's everybody. It's from the pump attendants, it's from our managers, it's everybody within the system. We want to build that relationship, and you're going to see that same face day in, day out, and it's going to be always smiling. It's always going to welcome you in and greet you as you leave the facilities. We take a great pride in our service.
So, staff. How many staff? And you know what? Why don't you just tell me who works with you and who works for you here, just for our viewers to also get to know them a bit?
Yeah. So we have 4 main key departments. Is bulk petroleum. Gerald and his team deliver all the bulk petroleum products. Our card lock facility as well. John and his team here in the hardware, they service anybody coming in looking for hydraulic hoses, oil filters, sprayer parts. We can either have it on hand or order it in, like you had mentioned. The next one is our agro department. Ken and his team, we just hired 2 new agro staff that are going to be getting out there, seeing producers, and really pushing to get that business growing. So they're going to be seeing a lot of growth in that. And then Ben and his team is as I mentioned, our last few of the co-op service garages, and they service anything from new to late model vehicles, whether it's mechanical, headlight restoration, pretty much anything you're looking for as a service garage.
So when you look at all those divisions, 4 main divisions, do you, obviously at the end of the year, you have to take a look at them to see whether they continue to be relevant, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about profitability, but it is a service to the community is a big part of it. And we feel those are very important components to not just our business, but also keeping people in town serviced.
So when you talk to farmers, and it's interesting that you're now sending a person out to actually solicit business, right? So what's the attitude right now of the farming community right now?
Well, right now it's harvest, so they're busy, and we do our combine rides. We're not there to necessarily just solicit the business, but we're there to hear what their needs, and that's what our main focus is looking after their needs, no matter whether it's now or a year or 2 down the road, whether they're thinking big changes for the farm or whether they're needing agronomic advice. We're there to help them. We want to build that relationship.
When I travel, and I travel a lot across the prairies, and a co-op gas bar, whether it's a truck stop or a gas bar, is always an inviting place to come to. You know, in fact, my wife and I have traveled so many times, we knew where the good ones were and the ones that were not so good, that you could stop. And is there anything like that? I know you're more than that here. You obviously have more, but obviously people see you as something that they like.
Absolutely. We get a lot of stopping in, coming to and from, whether going south or coming north. 23 highway is a very busy highway, but we still pull in a lot of traffic off there. And they know that we're, through the store hours, we're full service at the pump. Even though it's a card lock, member and non-member alike, we're there to service them the same way.
We'll take another break and come back to talk about some other things here with the Lowe Farm Co-op. Again, it's a great opportunity for me to actually get to where it really happens. This is where the rubber hits the road when you look at things going on as far as agriculture is concerned. We're back from the Lowe Farm Co-op, and it's a great time to visit with the general manager of the Lowe Farm Co-op, and we've talked about a lot of different things, and it's interesting how time flies when you're having fun. But one of the things that comes to mind, Matthew, is you've got to have a pretty thick skin, knowing that not everybody, even from here, buys from the Lowe Farm Co-op.
No, we understand that, and we hope to get as much business as possible. It's a benefit to themselves too to support us, because they're not just members. It's not just a membership you buy every year, an annual membership. This is a lifetime membership, and this is an ownership in that sense too. So anything you put back into the co-op in terms of patronage, purchases, it makes us more profitable and makes us more relevant to our community. We can put more money back into the community, but also too, it comes back in forms of allocations and cash backs. And who doesn't like a check at the end of the year?
You bet. What about the ball diamonds that are just to the east here? I've played there, I've umpired there, and it's always interesting to see that ballpark stays up to date and maintained. Is that anything Lowe Farm Co-op is involved in?
Very much so. We're involved every year. Anytime they have a summer festival, that kind of stuff, we are there. We're ready to pitch in any way we can. Whether it's the ball diamonds, the rink project that was several years back. This coming September 18th, we have Fuel Good Day that we're going to be actually providing Lowe Farm Rec Committee with some fundraising dollars that way. Last year we put it towards the fire department. So any way we can put money back into the community, we're there.
Sounds really good. I just happened to run into a fella that's head of the maintenance at the school, at Peter Harder. He came and stopped by here. And the reason I mention that is the fact that pretty fortunate to continue to have a school right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're very fortunate. We have a lot of services still in our town, whether it's the school, the grocery store, credit union. It's for the size of the community, we're still very relevant to the surrounding area.
So do you see people still moving in? I know there's new developments. Do you have even maybe the odd industry that locates here?
We got several industries, especially to the northwest side of town here. Sam Enterprises, we have Prairie Ag Sales. There's a lot of interest, and there's a lot of people coming and going through the community. We do see quite a bit of that, but it's still thriving. It's not going in the other direction.
Tell me, Matthew, as we come to the end of this farm show about the Lowe Farm Co-op, anything you'd like to just throw out there to sum up this show?
We want to remind everybody that we are here. We are a standalone co-op, and we are very proud that we can serve our members just like their family. And it really is a culture within the co-op system, not just Lowe Farm Co-op, that we care. And no matter what, we're there for communities when in need, individuals when in need. And that's not just our members, it's non-members too, but our staff as well. They have big hearts, and we really encourage them to get out there and try get into their communities as much as possible.
Thank you very much. That's Matthew Elmy, and he's a general manager of the Lowe Farm Co-op, and what a privilege and a pleasure to be here just to talk about a community co-op just the way we have been over the last 15 to 20 minutes. And for me, I just continue to love serving agriculture. As my friend Orion Samuelson said years ago, serving agriculture, the basic industry. From the Lowe Farm Co-op, this is Harry Siemens for the Farm Show.